Hello, good to see you, my friends. Are you drawing? I want to ask for your help. Please write in the comments how the drawing with me works for you. What do you like? What works for you? Do you have anything that needs to be changed? Please let me know in the comments. And I have another question for you. I'm planning to start a regular live drawing session, maybe on Sundays or on Fridays. But I'm thinking about the best time to do that. So I'm living in Europe, and for me, the morning would be a great time. But I have no clue where you live and what would be a good time for you. So maybe you can also write your best time for drawing in the comments. If you are interested in drawing live, or if you would be interested in drawing live anytime. So I'll make a decision about that soon, and I'll let you know. Good to see you anyway, and let's start our today's project. Today I want to draw on balancing light and darkness. And I've got these beautiful beauties here from my son 2 days ago, and that was so funny because I was already planning to draw using the symbol of yin and yang for drawing lightness and darkness and balancing lightness and darkness within me. And you can draw, obviously, balancing light and darkness within yourself. Balancing each other, but there doesn't need to be as much darkness as there is light. But the darkness, like the dark thoughts, like the limiting beliefs, like everything which keeps us like in this illusion of being human, all of that is also valuable and equally valuable than our like divine being. And for me, this is still a learning process, that it is like that, and that I can value my dark side as well. So I want to try that today and see what happens. And I chose to connect to this light and darkness via that yin and yang symbol. And let's see what happens. I'm most curious to also see your drawings, if you would be willing to share them. You can write, like you can share them via email to me, drawyourselffree@gmail.com. You could maybe also add them in the comments if you would like that. Or you can also share, please, your experiences with that drawing. Yes, so let's start. As you know, before we start, we always choose a topic and activate the topic by writing words in 2 minutes. We activate our brain connections to that topic before we draw. So my topic is balance. balance light and dark in me. So you're invited to use the same topic, balance light and dark in me. So now we start writing down our associations in 2 minutes. Let's go. So my words show quite a separation between light and dark. They show bright, good direction, love, connection, movement, joy, lightness, yes, aiming for and in charge on one side, and they show thoughts, judgments, lack, no, hesitation, not moving, stored energy, rejection, and helplessness on the other side. So I'm looking forward to create connections with my drawing between those two sides. And that's what we are doing now. Today I choose to draw with my ball pen. See whether it works properly. It works properly. So, and now I'm drawing the circle in the middle of my paper at first. This is unity. This is everything that is in that circle. The circle is representing harmony between everything that is. Unity. And now I'm drawing my symbol, which I'm intending to use today. I'm drawing yin and yang. visual border here between light and dark. And I'm having a part of the light in the darkness. Curious to find out what that will mean to me. And I'm also having a part of darkness in the light. Don't even know which side is which yet. So the symbol is visible here. Hope your symbol is also visible already. I can work on some rounding here already. There are not many intersections yet. I can create some connections here in the corners yet. And I feel like making the unity of the whole circle more visible at this step, and I'm drawing neural lines, organic lines that don't repeat themselves to activate my symbol, to activate its magic for my topic. Going inside as well. I'm especially looking forward to connect those two parts with each other soon. How does your body react on that symbol? I notice that my heart is beating quite excitedly. It feels a little bit anxious. Something new might be going on. And I also feel some little pressure on my forehead, or even on the right side of my forehead. You can ask yourself, how does your body react to that sign itself? I feel the urge to breathe deeply and to I also realize that my feet are tingling and they feel quite firm on the ground. So now I want to define which side is which. And I see that actually this side is a little bigger than the other one. And I might do some correction because I want to symbolize to myself the equality of both states. So I make another line here, which brings like the sizes of the shape closer to being the same size. So actually, maybe as well here I want some more space. And now I decide, because I have already the lines here, I will take that side as the dark side. And it kind of is challenging to me to let the dark side grow a little bit, because I don't want it in my life. I want the bright side. Today, my topic is to make peace with the dark side in me as well. So I guess it's a good idea to let it fill some space as well. So now this will be my dark side and this my bright side. This means that the dark, maybe I make it visible with some colors to myself. Which one is which? Which color might my dark side get? I don't want to be judging. I want to value both sides as equal. So I want to choose even the color force which resembles spirituality for me in most cases, and I'm choosing that for my dark side. And at this moment I want to make it visible to me, like which side is which. I will be using more colors later, especially because of this this part which is already also in the other part. So this is my dark thoughts, which I want to discover now. Take my thinner ball pen here, and I start activating this line, like the sign, with neurolines, which are organic flowing lines that don't repeat themselves. And I'll activate this shape, and I think about feelings of envy which I discovered in myself recently. I discovered envy on beautiful young ladies who seem to have had caring parents. When I say that, my heart beats quite fast and heavy, because I don't allow myself to feel envy on those beautiful ladies who have been cared for. Why don't I allow myself that? Because actually now I also feel something else. I feel sadness because I have not been cared for. It's quite sad to admit I have not been cared for. Not as a child and not as a teenager. I have been cared for as a grown-up by my father according to his capabilities. But what I was always longing and wishing for, which I never got, was a caring mother. For many, many decades in my life, I was grieving because I didn't have a caring mother. And it was a thing which I couldn't give myself. Like having a mother who cares for you, because you can obviously learn to care for yourself, which I also did. But having a caring mother might be something else. And now very recently, a week ago, I suddenly realized these feelings of envy. They came up to the surface quite newly to my consciousness. I find myself having like judgmental thoughts, and then I also connected to thoughts which I had being grown up and youth, on even on specific names. It was always girls who have been well cared for and who had some kind of, for me, strange looking problems, strangely unnecessary problems compared to what I felt in myself. So this envy might not be new, but I discovered it newly, and I'm grateful for that, because discovering that it is there allows me to look at it and to check whether I still want it in my life, and I can enable myself to let it go and not to allow it to rule in myself from the unconscious level. The envy. While I'm talking about that, I perceive pressure in my liver, which is also interesting because it's part of digestion, and I feel quite uncomfortable here, and I feel like I want to breathe. And looking at my drawing, I feel that this purple color, although I didn't even apply a lot yet, is very well supporting my sad feelings and my dark thoughts about envy. Envy at other people, at other people's caring parents. What an interesting envy. And what also comes up is this feeling of overwhelm, of having to be a parent myself, a caring parent, wanting to be a caring parent, and kind of don't know how to do that. Of course, doing my best, but always judging myself for maybe not doing good enough. Being caring parent, it comes natural, or more natural to you maybe, to be a loving parent if there had been someone treating you that way. If there hasn't been, then you need to invent that yourself, and first you need to heal yourself from your lacks and wounds and self-image. Like, if you don't, like, at least when I didn't have caring parents, and especially not a caring mother, that caused my self-image to be quite dark. Like, how can I be worth something if I'm not seen and cared for? How can my mother be wrong with that? Like, if she treats me like that, it must have some reason, so it must be that I'm not worse. That was actually my conclusion. So now I feel the urgent need of having more of the purple energy in this field here. And I'm adding it. I'm adding purple to my actually sad side. I realized that this envy was actually covering sadness and allowing myself to feel sad about not having had a caring mother. I was usually upset with that, or I don't know, I'm not sure whether I ever felt really sad about that before. I felt sad in general, I felt hopeless, I felt not able to act, and I had all these feelings, but I'm not sure whether I was really able to be sad about it yet. So that might be my key for getting that out of my dark box in myself, keeping it closed up. And then when I did that, other people's caring mothers might not be interesting to me anymore. So I feel I want to add some dark blue here, and I do that. So we add colors whenever we feel that they support our topic. And I urgently feel the need of support here. And I feel that the dark blue color is supporting me well here. And I'm adding it. So what color is supporting your topics there at the moment? Can be any color which you feel right. It feels quite nice here actually. And I realized that I wanted that to be a bigger, to give that more room. So I color that as well, because it's still part of the light. I was only allowing the light to be my focus, which is a good focus in my opinion, and still all your feelings which you hide in the cellar of your inner self, they are still there, and they keep you. They keep you from being in balance with the light even. So they will keep pulling you to the dark side. So now I follow my need to draw connection lines to this lonely purple place here. I wonder what happens now when I connect that purple side inside the light. What does that mean to me? All our lines are organically flowing. In Neurographica, we never use straight lines. straight lines are not visible to our brains. And as always, we work nicely and carefully on rounding all our intersections nicely, because we aim to create integrated impressions. So I can tell you what this feels like in that moment. That purple circle in the middle of the right side is a seed. It's my personal experience, my learning, which is valuable, and my source. This purple circle is the seed out of which I grow my focus on the light. And I'm drawing light. Feel like that light is already spreading into the environment. Feel my heart beating quite heavily and not really knowing what to think about that, and my brain also takes more room, like creates some pressure in my head. I am creating connections. This connection now, it came from this side, on this dark side, and I'm leading it outside. I'm coming back from here, and I want it to be a good, nice connection into that past of mine. I have this impression that now it's this dark things is like, in my case at this moment, coming more in peace with my past, with this aspect of my past. I didn't have a caring mother, and it's sad, and I actually never cried on that. It was quite familiar not to have that mother. And I also emphasized on problems which I thought were more important, like the condition of the world, wars. There was always something which seemed much more important than my own feelings. Obviously, if you don't start from your own feelings and accepting them, they rule you from somewhere out of the box where you put it. You have to keep it somewhere locked in yourself, and all the nice energy which you could use if that energy was not stored and had to be kept in there is not available. So that's why it's great to look at past experiences which we have locked up, unlock them. That's what we do with all the drawings. And all the drawings with Neurographica, we do some of this. Choose our topic, which is relevant to us at this moment, that shows that we are willing to look at it now, and we are ready to face whatever comes up with that topic. Bring it to the light, expose it to the light, look at it in the light of today, and not with like the eyes of a 4-year-old or 2-year-old or 10-year-old. Can look at it today. In my case, I can look at it with the eyes of a 50-year-old. And then I can see, of course it is sad not to have had a caring mother. And now I see another line which I want to emphasize on here. I realize that I'm creating field lines out of the necessity to combine my both sides inside of me. My lightful side, on which I'm working and which I am aware of, that I want to focus on that, and with my question of how does my dark side, why and how does it need to be in balance? What does that mean? What I see here, that balance is giving it room, letting it exist, allowing it to exist, and like also tracking its origin in the past. Where does it come from? Where does my envy today, which I become aware of, where did it come from? And it was quite nice to see that now. Maybe I can even feel happy for young ladies having had beautiful, caring mothers. And I don't need to have this envy anymore. Because you see what happens here. I have my seed here, which is growing in the beautiful side with which I want to develop, and it's fine that it's there. And I can also see that here, in the dark thoughts and in the dark times, there has been light. And now as I'm doing that, I can physically feel it in my heart. Yes. And I also knew about that light in my heart, even at these times. Even at the darkest times, as an 8-year-old, feeling completely alone on this earth. Nobody to relate to. But I knew about the divine connection in me. Never completely forgotten that. As an 8-year-old, I also didn't have a good friend yet. My good friend appeared when I was 14. We both were 14. That was great. I was ready for a good friend being 14. And I can happily announce that the same good friend is still in my life now. Many, 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 many years later. So if you're ready for a good friend, you draw it into your life, like you attract it into your life, him or her, then it's also a possibility to keep it for a long time in your life. In our case, 36 years already. So I feel like drawing more connection lines. I want more lines in here as well. I'm keeping in mind that I will work on all the intersections to create an integrated, harmonious impression. So how do you feel looking at your drawings? What do you think? You can write them, your thoughts, on a separate sheet. I highly recommend to do that. And I highly recommend also to stop the video to do that. If I'm listening to people talking about their insights, like which I need to talk about my insights here, that to give you an impression on how the whole process works. But if I listen to people do that, I can never focus on my own issues. So that's why I recommend you to stop the videos once in a while and write down what comes to your mind, how you feel, how your body reacts, what you see on your paper, which colors you took, for which reasons. So you make that aware to yourself while you're working, because it's really necessary to make yourself aware of these things. And if that is really difficult for you, I also recommend booking some personal time with me or with some other neurographic instructor to work on that together, because it's very common when you work on changing impressions in your mind, which we do with drawing Neurographica. Every line has an effect and is creating a new imprint in our brain. So what happens if we do something new? Our brain will be worried, will be in alarm, and it will tell us to stop doing that. We'll find excuses not to do that, not to go that deep, not to go at all maybe, because the brain wants to protect us from the unknown. And if we want to create something new, we need to be aware of that. So it can be also very useful to get help with that. I myself, I was very, very, very much resistant to change for many, many years, and I had a very, very, very good, for me, person. I found a very good teacher, life teacher, and we were also working with art, a very interesting method as well, different method than that, but in Neurographica. And she was a really, really good, strong rock in my resistance to change. I didn't even know that I could make changes in my life. I always thought I need to decide something which is the right decision for eternity. And obviously that's not possible. So it was really, really difficult for me to take any kind of decisions. And then while working on these topics, well, this resistance comes up, and it will also it also shows in the relationship to the person you are working with, for example. So you need to be quite good with yourself if you work with people who are seeking for changes in their own lives, because they might blame you because you are the mirror for them. So interesting things come up. And yes, it is wise to also seek help from professionals in this project, because we are self-sabotaging our changes in many, many cases. So I hope you can see that I'm working on connections here now. As I'm going around my drawing, I'm working on the intersections and make them round and smooth. And I'm also making the lines more visible. The more lines I add, the more and deeper my impressions get. All the lines, all the movements which my hand is doing is absorbed by my brain via my eyes while I'm doing it, and also via my fine motor activities, like creating these impressions myself. So please also remember my question about what time of the day would be suitable for you, because I'm intending to start drawing online, live online sessions once a week. I'm thinking about Sunday sessions, and I wonder if I draw on Sunday morning, 10 o'clock in Finland, what time would that be wherever you are? Please tell me where you are and what time of the day would be good drawing time for you on a Sunday. Could be in the middle of the night, maybe, if I'm drawing at 10 o'clock. Depends on where you are. So I would really like to know that. Please let me know in the comments. If we draw live, we might be also able to see your drawings. You can show them if you like. And we can create a field in which we are adding up our energies. And everybody who's watching the videos of the drawings and drawing himself or herself is also engaging in that energy field. Even now when you are drawing, connecting to me balancing my issues here today. And it's also very nice to connect some other time with the same energy. Time is an illusion anyway, so this is possible, very, very well possible. In this regard, I learned that these tools, these online tools and also these recording tools, they are really, really valuable. Because I can sit here today at a suitable time for me and draw, and I can draw with you together, although even if you start drawing 2 days from now, or you start drawing 2 years from now, it doesn't matter. It still is possible to connect. And for me, it's also very nice to get the chance to show you step by step how you can draw yourself free from your limitations. And obviously there are also very structured courses if you like to learn about Neurographica more in detail, about the method itself. You can check out the homepage, the official homepage, the English-speaking Neurographica community. There are also lots of people who offer structured courses which aim at teaching the method itself. At this moment I aim at providing tools to draw yourself free, which is the most fascinating thing for me about Neurographica. I can actually, with my own hands, create new impressions in my head. If I already created awareness to that this is possible, then I can also draw myself, for myself. Yes, now I feel I want more colors. So the bright side. So I realized that the bright side is based on the seed in the past, the dark seed which came from my dark experiences. And now I wonder about the bright side. So what will it tell me now? I chose yellow. And yellow and the bright side and the light is always feeling connected to the source for me. It feels very warm and comforting. Connection to the source. Not being judged. Not having to go anywhere else. Being right just at this moment. 100% accepted, 100% connected to the light, to the divine being. This is what the yellow color symbolizes for me. And I want more of that. In this step, we are creating larger fields of colors, of energy that support our topic. The step is called archetyping. Now I add some gentleness. Gentleness. And I let the color flow also to the environment. It comes from inside and goes to the environment, and it also comes from the environment to the inside. If we connect both together. So we are always living in an environment. That's why we connect our topic, our shape to the environment. Yes, tenderness, gentleness. More of that. I want more of that here. You can ask yourself, what does the color mean to you, which you picked? Which color did you pick? How does it feel? In which way does it support your topic? And over time you will find a certain pattern that certain colors mean certain things to you. And sometimes new colors appear which you usually wouldn't pick or wouldn't have picked. That happened to me with this color here, with this very tender color. And it also happened to me with color orange, which I had never used before. Now I'm thinking about what color will this be this. I guess obviously it needs to be yellow, because that was the divine source which I was aware of, even in my lonely times. So, and I feel that this kind of colors flow through the whole drawing and also appear here. So we play with our colors and let them flow through the drawing. Make it integrated. We don't color like very small cells and cells and cells. The rule is at least 2, like here, but bigger flows, thinking bigger flows. Like here, now I see this flow as well here, and I feel that it's also like flowing from here through my topic and even here to the other side, creating this energy flow with the colors. Feels really nice, and it feels really gentle and supportive to do that in my case here. There are plenty of different ways of coloring. All your drawings will look different. It's all representing your individual state of development at this moment. And I want to add some green, which represents joy and daring to be myself. And I'm not picking the colors at the moment for like how I feel that they look very nice with each other. Like I don't like the purple and the green next to each other, but I need the green here in my topic, and I work on integrating the colors a little later. I feel really enthusiastic about using this green, which represents being daring to be myself, and I really get excited thinking of that topic. That's quite freeing, nice and wonderful. Daring to be myself. I want more of that here. I need to take deep breaths again. Deep breaths. So please leave comments. What works for you in drawing with me while you're watching these videos? I'm really interested and curious to know how it works for you. Let me know. And of course, you're also invited to subscribe to my channel. I'm drawing at least one of these longer drawings every week for you to be able to check. And I'm always drawing on something which is most interesting for me at this moment. In this way, I feel it might be also interesting for you. I won't draw anything which is boring to me at the moment. So what I see now is I see in my drawing different fields of energy. My brain is judging the colors don't go together, but I know that they are right. I know they have their meanings, and I feel really supported by the colors. And I had already started drawing these field lines here, which I want to make more visible now. I'm taking a slightly bigger marker. The field lines go from one side of the drawing through the whole drawing, and they will exit the drawing at the other side. Our drawing is one small part of the whole universe, and our lines are all connected to the whole, and especially the field lines make that very clear. Streams of divine universal love and energy. And now I work on integrating these lines again, and I see that some lines missing here now, and I can add it, and I make it flow into my drawing. The nourishing divine energy, universal energy of love and wisdom. I want to have some of the lines a little bit more visible here. The more lines you have, the more impact you create on your brain. Take your time. Neurographica drawings are nothing for a rush. Time for yourself. You can book time for yourself in your calendar. Reserve it to you. I recommend 2.5 hours minimum for a drawing. At a time when you feel you are open, awake and welcoming new impressions in your life. I myself don't do that when I am tired. I prefer drawing in the mornings. I prefer drawing if I am not interrupted by my children. So we can pick our time. I prefer drawing than doing other things which feel unnecessary for me. I prefer booking that time for myself to create the desired states. In my case today, to bring in harmony light and dark in myself. And I feel now that this means as well not to be judgmental about the dark side. It plays its own role in our lives. And its acceptance lets its dominance vanish. Field lines always are, like, we aim to create the field lines in the same widths, like throughout the drawing. In this way, the energy can flow most nicely. I would also be interested in feedback. What you feel, can you see what I'm doing properly? I don't use a document camera yet, because I always feel that this is already nicely visible, and I always feel it's also nice to see a little bit of the surrounding, like, yeah, but I'm not sure how it is for you. So would you please also comment on that? That would be great for me. You can help make improvements. You can help me to make improvements if you suggest how it is for you. If you share how it is for you, and if you suggest maybe your ideas. Who is drawing? Write in the comments. I am drawing. I'm excited to see that. Don't be so shy. Speak with me. I will read your comments. Promise. So I will be thinking, if I want more field lines, I could have more, but I leave it for now. And now I want to emphasize on my whole shape and make the outline of my yin and yang shape very visible, because I intend it to be my affixing shape. I want to make the balance of light and darkness visible, and I choose a very big marker to create big lines. I'm also drawing these lines in an organic way. So I'm not making straight lines as well here. And then I am integrating my affixing shape, my thickest lines go once around the circle and integrate and round all the intersections. Please take your time for that step. So this shape is the affixing shape, which contains the solution, the balance of the lightness in me, and also the dark thoughts, which today were these thoughts of envy, which I discovered in myself recently. Envy is the key to my own sadness. Yes, visible. It is visible. My field lines are visible. My main shape is visible. My colors are visible. And now I will work on beauty and bringing this drawing to the state where I really like it. And I start with adding some green shade here. Shading always makes it more alive, more 3D effecty. I want to tell you now that the shape, like using shapes like this, is a means in Neurographica to connect with the shape's energies. You can also use maps, and you can also use pictures of yourself to connect, or of other people. Like, choose a topic and then connect to the energy of the country, of the person you are drawing, or the symbol you're using. So this is quite an interesting approach as well, because obviously the symbol of yin and yang itself carries a meaning, and we can connect to its energy by using that. Although in most algorithms in Neurographica we are using deliberately only abstract forms. Maximum triangles, squares and circles, and obviously lines. The squares, the circles also create stars sometimes, but not the circles, the triangles obviously. But we use the pure energy of these shapes, of the circles, of the triangles, and of the squares, usually in Neurographica. So it feels much more alive already, although I am not yet done. I'm emphasizing my yin and yang, bringing it to life at this stage. Connect to the colors, energies once again, and I can feel that in my heart. It seems to be agreeing. These pencils are useful for that because they mix nicely. I can apply more color here, another layer, make the blue visible. And now I feel that even it can expand here, the blue as well, and it's even coming here. More blue in the drawing. More blue, which compels me also we don't leave this one white cell alone, so I also make it blue. This blue energy is very welcome. And also purple is very welcome. Don't have any purple in the surroundings yet. Make your drawing as beautiful as you can. The feeling of beauty and the perception of beauty and the feeling of satisfaction which you achieve when you create beauty is a huge factor for your topic to be implemented nicely in your brain. For your new impressions, you obviously like to have beautiful impressions. In your brain and not ugly and disconnected impressions. So that's also a nice step which is very useful to be done with care and awareness. Bring it to the state where we are satisfied with our own result, with our drawing. So for me it looks much nicer now, although it's not finished yet. I have the impression this gets some reddish here now. Bring it more alive. Adding some red here. The red is also spreading here. Warmth, care, being seen, strength. Yeah, it is nice here. Yes. Getting closer to satisfaction. My symbol looks much more light now. Some more purple here. Spiritual energy, spiritual color. Purple rain comes to my mind. Purple rain spreading in my symbol. What I like about my yin and yang symbol now is that I've met my goal of not valuing like light in yellow and dark in gray or something, but it's colors where they need to be, where they are supporting my topic, and they are non-judgmental about good is light and bad is dark or whatever, because it's equally important. And that's what I see here now with the colors, with my choice of colors, that this is actually the impression I wanted to create as well. And that's why I didn't choose like dark is dark color and light with light color. It can be different. Maybe you chose that to make it visible as a contrast, and that can also be very necessary for you at the moment to make something else visible to you. Maybe that there is light and not only darkness, and to make it visible in the contrast can have many different expressions of what wants to be visible for you at the moment. So just for me, I always had this black and white idea, like here, good and bad, and it also symbolizes that everything is equally important, but I couldn't really see that properly. So now I will also emphasize a little bit shading outside. To make it flow organically into the background. Yes, here as well. You can come back to your drawings after some time, and you feel that something you see after some time that you want to add something else. You can always do that after hours, days, weeks, years, whenever it feels necessary. So, yes, a little bit green can also be shaded still. Today I draw myself free of the idea that light is better than darkness. Light and darkness are equally important. I'm already curious on what my words show. after that drawing. I will inquire that very soon. Yes, here the blue one also gets. Then we have it all around. The shading here as well. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Are you content with your drawing already? If not, keep on working on it as long as you need to feel contentment. More yellow for me here. Yellow is a very strong color for me. Since it is connected to the divine source in my perception. People also have different associations and different personal connections with the colors. So, my dear drawers, fellow drawers, we will explore what the drawing did with us now. Almost now. Found some more changes. Some more need for shading here. And even here, I want it a little bit up here to emphasize on that. Yeah, you can work on that for a long time and connect yourself with the energy of your drawing. You can keep on doing that as long as it feels needed. Some red was here. Look at that, beautiful. Beautiful. I promise the words, they will come. So, what has changed? That's our question now. this is my drawing at this point. And now I check about my impressions at this point after the drawing. And I write down topic 2.0, like after the drawing. And start writing everything which comes to me now without judging for 2 minutes. I invite you to do the same. So let's go. So, yes, I will read my words to you. I have flow, gentle stream, contentment. Human game needs both in balance. Game on earth. Everything has its place. Dark is good, light is good. Of equal importance. Seed, connected, part of each other. Gentle waves in me. Contentment. Contentment. Yes. How do you feel now? I do feel contentment. I feel that I changed something in me. And it feels so nice to be able to do that by drawing, by using a very simple tool actually. I like using simple tools to do something great. And I like the idea that I can do it myself. And you can also do it yourself. So we are able. We are able to create what we want to experience in our lives. And we are able to use everything which we experienced in our past as a resource. We don't need to let the past drain ourselves and prolong it from now to now, from today to tomorrow to eternity. No, we are able to use it constructively. And that's what I love about using Neurographica as a tool. I hope you also love it. I'm looking forward to all of your comments and to some of your drawings maybe. And I'm looking forward to meet you one-on-one one day. It's a very interesting and nice experience to draw together. Yes, so keep on drawing, bring your drawing to the state where you really like it, and let's keep on drawing. Bye bye, see you very soon.